For Vieira, he said that this week he played his best football in those 9 seasons as a Gunner, playing a major role in the 3 Premier League titles Arsenal won during his tenure. And welcome to Premier League Live alongside Tim Howard and Danny Higginbotham. I'm Paul Burmeister. He seemed to handle that very well. He's in good spirits with his return to North London. So much success there as a player, and he has been the headline all week. I know the backstory very well. I know about his success as a player. You two played against him. What was he like back then?
Well, I've had a chance to play against him and also to get to know him off the pitch, and he's a gentleman. I don't believe anything. He's soft-spoken. He's got a brilliant smile, but I tell you what, this means everything to him. He downplayed it, as he should. He's the manager of Crystal Palace Football Club, but he's a legend at that club. And as much as he's a gentleman off the pitch, he was a scary monster on it. I mean, you talk about leadership, and it lacks in today's game in a lot of aspects. He was brilliant at it. He was a top player, world-class player, which we throw around too easily. He was a world-class player. But I was in the tunnel, the famous bust-up at Highbury in the tunnel, with him and Roy Keane, and it was a scary moment. I was 23 years old, so I was kind of hiding in the back, if I'm being honest. And to watch him captain his club in that way and stand up for what he believed was right against my captain was just something to behold. And then, of course, he goes on the pitch, and it's literally the silkiest, smoothest football you've ever wanted to see.
I watched him so many times on TV as a younger player, and I looked at him and thought, how is he so good? What makes him so good? And then I had the opportunity to play against him on numerous occasions, and he was what I would call a Rolls-Royce of a player. And if you look at the modern-day football now, we talk about attacking midfielders or defensive midfielders. You don't find a player that's actually both. He was both. He could do the attacking side, the defending side, and you'd be running alongside him, and you didn't realise how quick he was. When he got into his stride, he would just fly past you, and it was so difficult. And as Tim says, the leadership side of things, so softly spoken off the pitch, but when he crossed that white line, then he became that leader. He became Mr. Arsenal at the time, and he was just an incredible player.
If he was a Rolls-Royce as a player, what's he like as a manager?
I think you've got to give him credit. I think this is a big job going in at Crystal Palace. I think what he did the first week that he was there, he sat down with the players, showed them a lot of video footage of a 4-3-3, then worked on it the next week with 4-3-3. He's brought the average age of the squad down, 10 players have left. So I don't think they've got the results that they've deserved. They're in transition, there's no doubt about it, but the players are buying into what he wants as well.
How do you see it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think his answer that I really liked was that the results don't match the performances because they have been performing well. He has this young team that he's trying to bring along, and the best teams mirror their manager, you know, what their manager was as a player or expects from them. And he likes to open the pitch up. He wants his players to be brave on the ball, out of possession. He wants them to work hard. As Danny said, that's what he was. He was a brilliant modern-day midfielder, and so his team is starting to take on that likeness. And I like what I see. I like the position they're in. There's going to be some growing pains, of course. New manager, load of new players. But this feels really good for Crystal Palace.
What I would say as well is that when you look at some of the results, haven't been great, but you look at the recent performance against Leicester City, getting beat 2-0, come back, draw 2-2. That tells you that there's a group of players that have belief in the manager, know exactly what he wants, and they're taking it out on the pitch as well. They've brought so much more energy now, and they're becoming more possession-based, and it's great to see.
Yeah, certainly getting points. They have 4 draws, but having a hard time getting the wins. 7 matches, 2 losses. That's good, but only 1 win.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series, and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches, and much more.